to start my third round of JB5, and I'm going to start with jelly printing my backgrounds. So I have my jelly plate out already cleaned. If you didn't read my blog, my jelly plate was sticking really bad. I thought it was the temperature, but it wasn't. I think it was just some built up layers of either gel medium or micas from some of the metallic paints. So I conditioned it with baby oil and cleaned it really well, and it seems to be working just fine now again. But panicked for a moment there because I thought I broke my jelly plate, and I couldn't live with that. So I have come up with a theme for this round, and last time I did 6x6 on ugly scrapbook paper, and those sold really well when I did my art show this last month. So this time what I did is I have a pad of 8x8 that I've just not really used. A lot of these are just text that are real light color. I think they'll be really good for jelly printing on. I have some music paper, and I came up with a theme. Everything is going to have vintage photographs of pets and little kids, cats, dogs, and a few odd organisms that I found. And I'm going to use those as my focal, and then I found some ephemera to use so that I can come up with a finished piece. And then I've got a few darks, just a couple, that I can print on. They already have some pattern on them, so I don't really want to obscure too much of that. And then map paper. These are my favorite go-tos because they do such a great job on the jelly plate. So I am going to get started, and I've picked out several stencils. I don't want to cover up my titles, and today on the paint, what I've decided to do is try to do kind of a tone on tone. So like I have a light green and a dark green, a light blue and a darker blue teal, a coral and a Georgia clay. Most of the paints are just craft paints. A few metallics are out, just to maybe add some. I may do the accents and metallics later on step like 3 or 4 when you add the stenciling and stamping back in, just to kind of be a little more discreet with that. I'm trying to stick with kind of what I think of mid-tones to go with the black and white photographs real well. And I'll probably use some scrapbook papers just to get some other patterns and stuff in there. So let's get started. I'm going to start with like a light yellow. And I have found that I really like to work light to dark. Most of the time. And this yellow is a paint dauber, and they tend to bead up on the plate, but I don't really mind that. And I am going to roll off on some of the scrap paper and brayer, which will give me a base. And actually, I really kind of like how that's beading up and how light colored it is. So I think I'm just going to use it as it is on my first layer. And I'll add some of the extra along one of the map pages. but you can still see the map. And I think I'm even going to take a wet baby wipe and pull a little of that right back off those titles. Because like I said, I want that title still to be, just blend that out. Oh, I didn't even start my timer. Alright, now I'm going to go with a light green. And I'm going to put a music page at the top just to protect my title. This yellow on the map page. And I'm going to go to a darker green. And since this is my top layer on one of them, I'm going to add a little metallic green. So I'm going to call that one done. And I actually think I'm going to leave this one the way it is. And I'm going to probably add something to this one right here. Maybe a accent color. I'm going to switch to the coral next. I'm not going to make 15 minutes. And call that one done. And I like that one. Gave some really good texture. And I actually think I could get a fairly decent cleanup print here in a few minutes. I'm going to do the darker Georgia clay. I'll call that one done. Oh, I actually like that one. I'm going to leave it like it is. It needs a little pop of something, but that can come later on another step. I'll try a cleanup and go to the dark paper. A lot of paint here, unfortunately. feel like I need to get some of that paint off. Oh, that's pretty. All right, I'm going to go to this spa blue. Leave that one the way it is. Put that here. Get the rest of this over here. Do a little turquoise. Pretty. All right. I don't know if I can get that or not. I'm gonna do a layer of a purple metallic and then try to do a cleanup. I am going to be out of time, but I'm going to finish what I have left. Excuse me. I got a lime green. What I've been doing is using my brayers here, and then when I have this extra in the same color, just gives me a little pattern in the same color as a base. And you can even come back in and do the ghost. Which gives me a really good base to start with. Some of these are real subtle, but they're just the first layer of paint. I do not know if this is going to show up on the brown, but I'm going to try. It's not too bad. I'm going to let it dry and leave it, since it's just a first layer. I'm going to go back to the spa blue. Add a little turquoise into it. And I think I'm just gonna do a groove. I don't know if I like that, so I do wanna. Might need a pop of black, but cover the title. Oh, I like that. hope I can get this goodness on here. Oh yeah. And I'll show all of these to you in just a few minutes. I'm going to do a cleanup just on this end. And I've got a piece that's left. And then I can do my pop-up black on here.